Welcome to Primitive Archer TV. And welcome back. We're picking right back up where we left off in episode 6. The handle has cured. It hasn't slipped on us. Everything's looking good. We're going to check the tip alignment next. Make sure that that hasn't changed while on the jig. We're going to measure the amount of reflex that it has to check for set and how much is pulled out later on in the build. When you're running parallel limbs for a distance and then you go into a straight taper down, what you want in thickness is you want the thickness for the length of the parallel limbs. You want your thickness to taper down. And that's indicated by these little candle flame looking rings. Once you're done tapering and you have reached the end of your parallel limb, you want your taper to stop in thickness, and then your tiller relies on the taper of the profile. So essentially, if you had just a pure pyramid bow where it was just tapered from a certain width at the fade, evenly tapered, that's important, all the way down to the tips, then you would have no thickness change because your mass reduction is widthwise. But because we're combining two elements here, we're combining running parallel limbs that need to have a thickness taper with a pyramid design that needs a profile taper, then we want our thickness to taper down to the end where the parallel stops, and then it's going to transition over to profile taper. And you can kind of see here where I've already started that, because at the end of this candle flame, which is right here, I'm just a little bit past where I'm running parallel. I'm going to tighten that up. I'm going to bring that in. And I need to make sure that these candle flames run very long. This one goes all the way to the end. And that's what I want. So I want this one, this shorter one, to retreat probably all the way to here. And I want to see if I can keep this one remaining. That may not give me the thickness that I need for the tiller to, not for the tiller. That may not give me the thickness that I need for the bow weight that I'm looking for, and the draw length. But that'll give me the established start, and then I can go from there. All right, that said, let's put it into action. Using 36 grit ceramic belt sanding paper on the porta cable. Just gentle, smooth, sweeping sweeps there with the bow limb, checking it for a floor tiller, making sure that everything is flexing smoothly, and it is. I'm going to go to the bandsaw here and trim down the tips. I had mentioned in an earlier episode that I would bring this back up, and here we are. I'll leave the tips wide so that I'm making sure that if the alignment changes, I can get the alignment good by trimming it back into alignment. The alignment will move sometimes when you're going back and forth between the call and applying heat to it. Checking the floor tiller here, and that is a very good even floor tiller. That's pretty well ideal. Now I got it back on the call. We're going to heat the some reflex into it. There was a drying crack there, so I put the clamps on there, those mini clamps, to help hold the crack together so it doesn't spread while applying heat. Just making sure the tip alignment's good. Doing some tiller adjustments. Now I'm going to carve in the nocks for the string. We're about to put a string on this thing for the first time ever. Going for a low brace. It's kind of stuck on my leg there. First pull. Looks good. That's about where it's going to be at full brace, which we're going to now.
Checking the tiller on it, paying special attention to that left limb. It looks a little bit off. Going down to about 10, 15 inches right there. I thought it was 15. Now I'm using a K-bar knife as a scraper. It works really well. Very satisfying. And back to tiller tree to check the results. It doesn't take a lot of wood removal to get some good results. Checking where it's bending and how it's bending. Needs to remove more wood from right there. So back to the scraper. Need some more reduction in that same area. Now you'll see me going back and forth in that bandsaw on that piece of paper there. What I'm doing is I'm writing down how much the bow weighs so I can track the differences that I'm making while tillering it. I'll write down the bow weighing, let's just say, for instance, 35 pounds at 15 inches. Then I'll take a couple scrapes off and I'll see now that it weighs 33 pounds at 15 inches. I'm just tracking my weight reduction because I know for this type of bow, because I build them so much, that at 15 pounds the bow should weigh about 25 pounds. Excuse me, at 15 inches the bow should weigh about 25 pounds. So I'm inching up on what the draw weight should be without ever hitting my full draw weight. What that allows me to do is not overstress the bow by going to full draw or full poundage with the tiller being out of balance. It really helps preserve the limbs. And I'm pretty certain that's what I'm explaining right here. It was easier to do this as a voiceover. Tiller's definitely coming around.
Point. Let me try that again. 46.7. It's 49. 48. Yep, 48. Doesn't just mean how far you pull, it also means by draw weight. $50 is 22. I wanted to find out what the forced draw chart would look like for this bow. I haven't heat treated this bow yet. I've only heat bent it, and those are two different things, very different. So with the established force draw chart for the non-heat treated bow, I'm storing about 80% of its full draw energy, which isn't bad, at 22 inches, which is 1 inch shy of full draw. That was at 22. Full draw is going to be at 23. If I extrapolate that out to 23 inches, I would be pulling 52 at 23, and that would have given me 85% of its stored energy, which for a non-heat treated bow, and that's really good. That's actually about what I broke the record with last time. So we're going to go with a heat treated bow. I'm going to heat treat this, and then we're going to do another tiller session to tiller it back down because it's going to increase its draw weight significantly. So after that tiller session, then we're going to do another full draw chart and compare numbers out to 22, and then I'll push it to the 23, and hopefully Hopefully, I'd love to see the 90s. I'd love to see 90% energy storage. Higher the better. One of these days I'll break 100%, but for now I'll be very happy with 88, 90 and up.